Opening the diagonal for the queen and bishop, this instantly contests the center's perimeter. Developing the knight here immediately fights for central squares and prepares for kingside castling, maintaining flexibility. Developing the knight toward the center reinforces control over the d5 and e4 squares. Black immediately contests the center, creating a symmetrical pawn structure and fighting for space. Developing the knight to f3 solidifies central control and prepares for kingside castling, aiming for a harmonious setup. Challenging white's central space, black immediately seeks dynamic counterplay and an open game. Disrupting black's central pawn chain opens a dynamic fight for the d4 square and initiative. Reclaiming the pawn with the knight immediately stimulates central counterplay, mirroring white's aggressive pawn grab. Aggressively claiming central space, this push immediately challenges black's knight and dictates the early pawn structure. Aggressively contesting the center, this maneuver aims to dislodge white's advanced pawn and seize central squares. Unleashing the bishop here capitalizes on the knight's current outpost on b4, initiating a powerful central presence and threatening further positional expansion. Targeting the king's defender with a check, this maneuver disrupts white's development and aims to seize central control by exploiting the pinned knight. Exposing the monarch to a nasty discovery is quite a risk here, perhaps inviting more central pressure. Sacrificing a bishop to disrupt white's pawn structure and open lines is a bold tactical gamble. Reclaiming the pawn, white activates the rook and opens the c-file, while black's king remains awkwardly exposed. Solidifying the pawn chain opens lines for bishop development and secures the queen side. Commanding the center with pawn expansion, white opens lines and pressures black's compromised position. Liberating the d-pawn offers peace activity, but opens a tactical skirmish. Unveiling the queen here opens lines, but exposes her to immediate threats, a double-edged sword. Liberating the queen from its besieged outpost, black initiates a more fluid pawn structure, hoping to exploit the open c-file. Reclaiming the pawn, white repositions the knight, eyeing the vulnerable d-pawn while preparing to develop the remaining pieces. Preemptively securing the queenside territory with this pawn advance prepares for queenside expansion and potentially restricts white's pieces. Launching a knight to the edge hints at a desire to exploit the weakened dark squares, perhaps aiming for b5 or c6. Deploying the knight to d7 aims to develop this piece and potentially challenge white's queen's knight on a4 while preparing for further queenside expansion. Centralizing the rook activates a key piece, preparing to contest open files and exert pressure. Developing the bishop to this square aims to castle soon, stabilizing the kingside and preparing to connect the rooks. Targeting the opponent's castled king's safety by opening lines, this strike aims for immediate disruption and potential material gain.